And hello, everybody. Welcome back to Atrocity Press Live. I've got my Coca-Cola, and I've got my co-host extraordinaire, Johnny Reed.
Hey, what's up, Max?
What's going on? And in the back, we've also got W.S. Sam Quinton.
Hey, gentlemen, how's it going tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. We're making comics. Gotta love it.
That's always good. It's always good to do.
Hell yeah.
So you're on the third book on 47 Furious Tails.
Yes, indeed.
Sorry, I'm going to the Kickstarter right now, so I can
Book
pull
3
it up
of
real
12.
quick. I had a question I was thinking about when I was at the dentist office this morning or this afternoon.
Oh wow. Okay.
Are you planning on doing every 4 issues, doing like a combined volume?
That's still kind of up in the air. We know we're doing one big digest at the end of the series. If
you got to do the omnibus,
right. If Alexi and I are still going over the logistics of it, it's probably pretty likely every 4. And then with the artist edition for the art books, doing those every 3 for the raw pages. The question we need to find out first is how much interest there is in getting that print run done. Especially from the supporting shops. We want to make sure that the shops have a good interest. And of course, that has really a lot to do with what the margins will look like for the store owners. So we're going to run the math, run the numbers, make sure that our shop owners are making money, make sure that we can make a little bit of money on it. Of course, make sure Alexia is making money on it because we take good care of our artists.
Of course.
And if the math works, then yeah. And not to try and sound like, the money is the end all be all of it, but the truth of it is the shops have to make the money if they're going to sell it, and we have to make the money if we're going to print it. So
that's true. I mean, if you don't make the money, then it's kind of pointless.
Johnny, you'll probably agree, right? Like we Sonopa Publishing, we try and put stuff on the shelf with 50% margin for the stores. Is what we can usually manage on our orders, right? And that tends to go over pretty well with the shops that we deal with. Now, there's a couple of the bigger chains that have picked us up that have ordered a few hundred books,
right?
And shipping that obviously lets us consolidate shipping even more, and so sometimes they can actually get down to where they've got like 53, maybe even 55%, but it's been 20 years since I owned a store, so I'm just having to fall back to what was pricing then to think what counts as a good rate. But so far, people seem to like that 50% margin on the stores, and we're going to try and keep sticking to that.
50% is a fantastic margin for selling stuff.
The problem you have right now is like when you work with Diamond. I mean, Diamond's on that tier. The more you order, the better your discount. And but things are just fluctuating so much, with DC leaving and then now Marvel's leaving. It's really kind of putting the whole corporate side of that marketing for the comics, and it's a whole flux right now.
Yeah. See, I don't go through Diamond, so I don't have a middleman between me and the shops that are carrying us. And so the nice part about that is that it lets me be more agile. The downside is there's not all that lead up promotion where you get like sprinkles of sales across 2,000 base stores.
Right.
I have to actually go store to store and say, hey, this is the book we're doing. This is what we can do for you, and this is how it's selling other places. Here's a copy to check out, and let's see what we can do about getting it on the shelf. And there's been a lot of receptive stores. We're in this week makes 23 comic shops that we're in.
Fantastic.
As far as locations, yeah,
That's awesome.
I'd like to get to 50 by the end of the year, if at all possible. But it's
so you're saying you and I need to talk offline then later on.
we should. Do you have 47 yet?
Pardon?
I have it. He does not.
Okay, well,
I do not.
We need to get Johnny some copies. Johnny, yeah, talk to me offline. I'll send you a sample.
Yeah, I actually read the first issue Max had, and I really enjoyed it. So we'll get into that here in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Look,
let's take a peek from where we were back when it was 29 days to go.
Yep.
It was at 20. It was at 25 backers.
Yep.
Now you're at 80 sexy backers.
Oh yes.
That's another 65, 55.
55, another 55 backers. Yep.
Another 55
Nice.
backers.
Mm-hmm.
And you are almost a little shy of 50% of the goal.
Yep. We need another $577 to hit 50%. So we're easily within striking distance of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got the standard text that you need to see. That's what I'm saying. I'm just going to blow through it today.
Cool. That's the Alexia Veldhausen cover that we've got, and of course Alexia has done a cover for each. These are the current covers that she's got out for issue 1 and issue 2. So that's issue 1 right there. This is the second cover issue 1's had, and there's our issue 2 cover. We don't reprint covers on floppies, so once we run out, we actually commission a new cover. And then this is the
okay. So like you ordered 3,000 copies, and
right.
then once that's gone, it's just gone. That cover's gone.
Right. We'll have another cover commissioned after that's done. Yeah.
Nice.
So
that's a cool way of doing it. I like that.
Mm-hmm. It does mean that I have to order, larger press runs than you usually see at a publisher my size, where I'm working out of one room in the apartment. But it makes sense on the financials. So.
Well, I tell you that wall of books behind you has gotten a lot smaller from when it first came in.
Yeah, remember when it was 6 boxes high and 4 deep, and now it's 4 high and 2 deep?
Yep.
Well, that's the weird thing is like we've issue 1 between the 2 previous Kickstarters, the 3 convention appearances, and the stores who are carrying the books right now. Issue 1 by itself has sold 1,285 copies.
Wow.
And issue 2 is at I think we're at 1,093 copies right now. I'd have to check that, but yeah, I think that's where we're at. We're still just below 1,100 on issue 2.
That's still pretty good for, an independent comic book.
Yeah, we're trying to push those out and get them on the shelves and get them in people's hands, get them in the Kickstarter, and it's a lot of work, but you know that just as well as I do, Max.
I do. We just finished shipping everything from USPS. It's funny. I put it all outside from the mailman to come get it this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I got it all set up for USPS to pick it up, and then I was like, damn. I need to go get my phone so I can take a picture of this and post it on the internet. Oh, there you go.
I got mine. I haven't done a review yet because I need to finish reading it. Every time I've started, something's happened.
Did your poker chip get jacked up?
Just a little bit, and that was actually my fault because I took it off. I set it down. It fell off my desk, bounced off my my little beam on my table, and then bounced over into a box of pens.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, there's literally nothing in the world that would have saved that poker chip. It's like, well, right into the pens you go. So, yeah, I did scratch it up a little bit.
If you want one, I can send you another one. It's all good because some of the tape that we used, we tested it for a little bit, but we didn't test for temperature.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So... And I think the ones that got hot, the print kind of came off, and I've got to replace some poker chips. It's no big deal.
Yeah, mine was literally just scratched by. You can see where that scratch is.
Yeah,
and that's from the box of pens.
Oh, okay.
Well, and with our second batch, we actually wrapped them up, so the second batch should be fine.
Yeah.
Learn from our mistakes.
Yes, yes. Put them into paper, and then take the paper and tape the paper to the thing, and then it's all good.
Yes.
But let's see. We've got page here, which is kind of the graveyard has become kind of synonymous with 47 Furious Tales.
Yeah, Alexia's put some stuff together to start showing off more what we're doing with the artist edition as well, which is this collage piece that she put together. The graveyard is, of course, incredibly iconic for this series out of issue 1. That's pages 2 and 3. And then you've got elements from issue 1 and issue 2 in here as well. She hasn't added any of the inked pages from issue 3 into this collage yet, but we're going to be sharing those out through the course of the campaign, and then we'll show them as they're colored and things like that to show the backers the evolution of how the book gets put together.
So I like how you can see the determination on this guy's down in the left corner's face. And he's just an anthropomorphic squirrel thing.
Yeah. Chikara, the one of the youngest of the 47, the son of Yoshio.
Yeah. And of course, small preview 3, we got the monkey bandits chasing down some poor innocent civilian.
Yep. Yeah, she does just kind of scream civilian, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And that's me and my writing, I guess. You know, it's always how it is. When you've got bandits, the bandits always go after the civilians because the civilians have the money and they don't usually have the weapons.
Of course. Soft target.
Right.
Or no training.
Yeah. Bandits typically, try and stay away from your military forces. It's just not good for them unless they're desperate. And here's our variant cover from Paul Walcott for issue 3. He did a spectacular job on this. I was really happy with how this came out.
Let me see if I can shrink this down a little bit so we can see the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's available. There's a couple of tiers with that in there, and it's also available as an add-on.
Yep, that's the one we use for the thumbnail on this video.
Yep. What's funny is, remember when we talked on Friday, people were saying, hey, why is the add-on only $5? I mean, because it's what it is. It's only $5. And I have lost count of how many people told me that's not priced high enough, which is flattering, but, I want as many people to have it as we can,
Of course, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, American Machine Gun books are definitely much more expensive than 47 Furious Tales. They're printed differently. They
are printed differently. Yeah,
it's a different thing. I couldn't afford to have 3,000 copies printed. I just couldn't. So we only go with printing like 500 copies.
Right.
Maybe 600-700 copies, and then
I got a little traumatized for that because my that first cover for issue 1, I only printed 500, and I ran out so fast that I literally didn't have any left, and except for the ones I saved back for family and like fan copies for Billy Tucci and Brian Polito, stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm sure they're knocking on the door wondering where it's at.
Actually, Billy's got his in his house. He's got his art prints, and his son took his art prints and hung them in his room.
Oh, sweet!
Which is wild to think that art prints from 47 hanging in Billy Tucci's house. Wow, that's the coolest thing.
That is pretty awesome, and Mr. Shi himself.
I know, right?
And this is the scene where he's giving them the repaired bowl because they used to repair broken bowls with precious metals.
Right. It's still a pretty well practiced art form in Japan. What he's doing is Asano is showing Yahei the bowl, which is meant as a gift for Kira, who's a shogunate official that Asano does not get along with. Kiro's, history says that Akira was a very corrupt official who liked his bribes and his vices, whereas Asano was more of an idealist Confucianist and someone with very traditional, ideal samurai values is how he's typically portrayed. And that creates a conflict when you have those two ideologies, where you have someone who is very concerned with their honor and their role in society as a Confucianist and as a daimyo, as a samurai. and opposed to someone who is a court official who's more concerned with lining his own pockets. That's like oil and water. The ideologies just don't mix.
No, not at all. So is this told during, like, what years is this?
This would be happening in 17, and for this issue would be 1702.
1702.
Right.
Okay, so this is when they've had a little bit of contact with people offside the island, but not much. Because I know that there's a big deal between the samurai and like the new government when they back in the early 1900s when Japan kind of went corporate.
At this point, a lot of the contact had been with Dutch traders, and there was a lot of issues going on with product values fluctuating wildly due to the availability of foreign goods, and it was destabilizing in a lot of ways. It hurt the economy. It caused some questionable conduct by certain officials who found that they could make a lot of money if they just allowed this, or if they tolerated this. And so there was some graft certainly going on in the time frame, and that had been going on periodically for a while, because there were times when the Japanese would just not permit those European traders any type of foothold in their domain. And then as people managed to get a toehold and trade with Japan, it had some profound effects on their society.
See, not only do you get awesome story, but you get a history lesson too with Sam Quinton.
Oh, if only I were an actual historian, not just someone who reads a lot, you know. So, the fun stuff, the rewards.
The digital tale.
Now, the digital tales issues 1 through 3.
Yep.
So that's 72 pages of comic for $5.
That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
The digital tale deluxe comes with the artist edition PDF.
Right, and that's another 92 pages. So there's a lot of content there.
Yeah, so that's like a couple hundred pages worth of stuff for $10.
Yeah. And then we got our print stuff. All of our print tiers include the shipping within the United States. And then all of the Alexia Veldhausen covers are going to be signed by Alexia and myself. So everyone's going to get signed copies.
It must be nice to be able to like be within the same vicinity as your artist. Because like if I wanted to have my artist sign it, I'd have to spend like $100 and something mailing the books to Brazil.
Yeah.
And then he'd have to pay for them because you have to pay a tariff to get your stuff out of the mail. And then he would sign them and then send them back. And I'm like, God, that would cost us an extra like $400 just to have people to be able to sign the book.
Yep, and we're 750 something miles apart, and I've been driving up to New Jersey to sign the other 2 books. And this time, we're flying her down. It's actually cheaper to have her fly down right now.
It was for you to drive.
Than it is to drive, yeah. Just because of the profound. Well, the gas prices, yes, but also how much the flight costs have come down. Because the airline industry still hasn't recovered from COVID. Flights are still pretty cheap.
Yeah, Southwest is sending me everything. We've used Southwest probably 3 times in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because they keep sending us stuff saying, hey, you want to go somewhere for $50? It's like, sure, why not?
Yeah. Here's your choices. Vegas, Seattle, Portland, and then, or you can go to Huntington, West Virginia. I'm like, why would I go to Huntington, West Virginia? I can just drive to Huntington.
They've got a hub there. They've got a hub there. That's where you're going to end up. You're going to end up there first, anyways. You might as well just go ahead.
Well, you know, there's a lot of military bases in that area too.
Mm-hmm.
The catch-up tier. Yeah, I point this out to a lot of folks because you know how when you look at the metrics from Kickstarter, they tell you your average pledge across the board is usually between $20 and $30.
Yeah.
And so obviously we had to limit this tier because it's based on inventory that's currently in stock. But basically, this is issue 1, 2, and 3 in print, the Veldhausen covers, all signed for $25 plus the digital rewards. So it's for people who already have 1 and 2, the previous tier is obviously what we're targeting this one. This one is more for those folks who are new to it or
Just
who want to
getting
get
in.
copies.
Yeah, just hopping in, getting in there. That's good stuff. Because I mean, I remember when I got mine in the mail, and I was reading it, and I was at the first one. I was like, man, this lettering is kind of small, and I was realizing that it wasn't really that small. It's just I can't see that well anymore. because because I was like, let me look at my own book. I know that lettering's good, and I'm like, God, this looks small too. It's like I got my glasses on. I can't see anything. This is terrible. I'm gonna have to go to the eye doctor.
Yeah, I've got to go get mine redone too. They actually just sent me a coupon for an exam because I haven't been there in 3 years.
Well, now it's time to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so the artist edition with 3 printed copy and the printed copy issue 3 of Wellhausen and Walcott variant covers and the digital PDF copy of issue 1, 3 and the artist edition. So
right.
This is almost kind of like almost an everything.
Yeah, this is kind of like the focal point of what we're funding here. Your artist edition and your issue 3 copies. So more along the lines of for the people who are, obviously fans of the original art, but maybe don't want to budget for the original pages, which is what the artist edition is really all about. And then getting this in at that price point was, as I'm sure you can imagine, was a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But we can make it happen. The biggest thing was figuring out what the new postage rates were going to be with the price hike that just went up.
Yeah, I was going to say that shipping cost that went up 12%, and
13, yeah,
going up again.
Isn't that awesome though? That we're going to raise the price, and we're going to basically tell you that you're getting your product slower.
Yes, at least.
I thought that was better. You're paying more and getting less from us. That is the best marketing gimmick I've ever heard in my life.
At least 2 days slower. Yeah, it's been crazy.
But we're going to pay. But you're going to pay more.
At least it's honesty in government, Yeah.
Like, hey, we've done it stupid. Now everyone's gonna pay for it. Welcome.
And just to me, just like that reverse marketing, you're so you get so used to we're gonna raise your prices, but you're gonna get better service. They're like, nope, we're gonna be honest. It's gonna be crappy.
And the Sakura tier, which you can see, is my selection.
And it's all sold out now too.
And it's all gone. 10 backers.
Wow.
No longer available. I got in while I could get in. Well, the getting was good. I think I was the first one on this tier.
I think you were, yeah. The thing about this is the original sketch on the Gemini. Yeah. Because you go to a con and you get something by a comic artist, that's going to be, anywhere from $20, $40, $50, depending on the artist, right? So being able to get that and your books and your shipping rolled into one was just, a really, really hot tier. We had done really well with it on issue 2. And I think we're probably going to continue that with issue 4 as well.
You should make it like 40 available and just start cracking the whip. Get to work.
Ask Alexia to go ahead and start making them now.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, can you do 40 for issue 4? Just because.
On your off time, I need you to go ahead and just start sketching on these Geminis.
Yeah, right. Let's go ahead and make that money. Get this stuff funded.
That's why half of them would come in on napkins. Yeah, she's like at a restaurant.
And the Shogun tier, which is the Big Daddy tier.
Yeah, when we were developing this, when I was pricing it out and everything, it was the working title was The Big Deal, because it's literally your printed and digital copy of the artist edition. God, there's so much on this stuff. I need to put it in front of me because it's literally so much that's on this tier. I'll miss something if I don't have it in front of me. No, I'll put it in front of me. So we've got the artist edition PDF, the PDFs of issue 1 through 3, the print copy of the artist edition. And then we go into the books. And so you've got issues 1, 2, and 3, the Wellhausen covers signed. For issue 2, you've got both variant covers, the Fernando Ruiz and the Paul Walcott. Issue 3, you've got the Paul Walcott variant. You've got the 3 5.5 by 8.5 art prints. And then you've got the 11 by 17 art prints of each of the cover art pieces.
Which are the ones that are shown.
Yeah. And so it's actually all of them. I don't know if we've yet updated the.
Well, it's got the two. It's got the two poster prints, and then it's got the 8x5.
Right. There's actually 7 11 by 17s at that price point. So I mean, that's a huge deal. I mean, the art prints alone would be $150 if you picked them up.
Oh yeah, of course, just by themselves.
So the idea is to pack as much value as we can, and of course raise money to get this funded. Because I mean, let's face it, people who have a fondness for it, when they can get a good value for it, they're more inclined to pledge your campaign.
Let's see, go down here.
And we've skipped some of the retailer tiers, but that's because they're not in the description. They're more like nested in there. But we definitely took care of our retailers. So we got like our
retailer tier, floppies only. One backer right there.
Yep. And so that's 30 floppies, and the retailer just picks, which ones they want. Issue 1, issue 2, whatever variant covers they want to use, so that they can pick the ones out that best suit their store. And then we've got some more retailer tiers. So we go down. The 150 tier adds in the artist edition materials, and then you also get a bunch of the 5.5 by 8.5 art prints.
Which so you got someone pick that up too.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing some traction from our supporting stores. So that's
awesome, because I've always heard that you don't sell retail tiers.
I do.
Well, I know you do, but that's what I'm saying is, like, I've heard that you people just don't buy them.
Well, I mean, the $150 tier there, when you look at it on the retail perspective, it's $300 to $330 worth of merchandise on the shelf, and so I mean, there's a doubling of the money built into it.
Johnny,
and
is that good or bad?
It's not bad.
And I mean, you throw in that it includes shipping. I mean, it's just it just works,
You're the LCS guy, so would you do the retailer tier on something like this? Because I've seen a few Kickstarters running retail tiers, and I've seen just rarely have they sold, but you've sold 2.
Yeah. I'm expecting to move at least 2 more before the end of the campaign too, for some of the stores I've talked to, because some want to support the Kickstarter and some just want to wait until after we ship rewards and then have us invoice and ship it in December. Actually, one store that's one of the larger clients, they want to wait until January so that it's not in stock for the end of the year inventory. Right, and they sold out of the last shipment that we sent them, which was, what was it, 300 books, but they have 6 locations, so that was easier to distribute across. But
still a lot of books.
Yeah, it was fun to pack too. Packing 300 books was a little different than I expected.
I bet you got heavy, but still, I bet you it was a good feeling once it left your hands.
It really was. Yeah, I went through UPS for it, for the postage rate, really, for it, and also because I could say, hey, this is insured. If you guys screw it up, it's on you. I'm getting this. Because the post office, if you have something damaged, it can take a couple of months to get your money back. UPS is a little more expedient on that. Because the last thing they want you doing is hauling them into small claims court or worse, Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And with UPS, or USPS, they pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah, because they're the post office, they can.
That is true. They have the power.
They do indeed. That's for certain. But yeah, I think the thing about retailer tiers is that when you have retailers who have sold your book before, I think and especially ones who have supported previous campaigns, and they know how you fulfill, and they know how you package your stuff. They know how you fix problems that come up, because let's face it, sometimes problems come up. We had a box of posters that went down to one of the stores in Florida, and the box got ran over at some point, it seems, because it was all just mangled. And so we just shipped another box out, and probably sometime next month I'll get my insurance from the USPS from it. But we just went ahead and had them send us the pictures we needed for USPS and put the replacements in the mail that next day. Easy as can be. And I think when you can do that, it makes it a lot easier for your stores to come out and support the Kickstarter campaigns and make orders from you when you know you're going to take care of any problems that come up.
Oh yeah, you got to take care of your customers. It's like with the poker chip thing. It's just a tiny little tchotchke stretch goal thing that everyone got, but everyone loves them. So they're defective. I bought extra just because I like them.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play poker with them someday.
Yeah, you'll have enough books out soon. 7 a year. You'll have enough in no time, right?
And then people, I got to think, someone's like, look, this thing came off. And I was like, oh, crap, I feel bad. I'll replace your thing. And someone else was like, hey, my thing's messed up. And I'm like, oh, crap, this could be a problem. And then I think we've had 5 total people that have had problems so far, at least that have contacted me. But what I did put it out everywhere that I could, all the socials, Kickstarter update, in the comments.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, go to Matt Mary Machine Gun on Twitter because it's just easier. Most people have Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's just easier for me to keep track of it because I don't use Twitter that much. So if you send me a direct message, I'll probably see it.
I use Twitter way too much. It's convenient for a lot of the folks I communicate with. So
I haven't figured it out. I haven't figured out how to find followers and to get it to where I'm not like, like I'm following 42,000 people and I've got like 8 followers. I haven't figured out how to make that work.
I haven't figured it out either. I looked the other day and I was like, how am I up to 800 followers now? I don't remember that happening. And people will tell you, oh, you can't throw a Kickstarter until you have at least 1,000 followers. No, that's entirely wrong. I think the first time we launched, when we launched 47 the second time and it funded, I think I had 105 followers on Instagram, and that was my biggest following anywhere. So it was like,
well, I mean, we've got a bunch of followers on Instagram. Our Instagram's got like 5,500 followers or somewhere.
Oh wow,
somewhere around there.
I think I've got like 300 now.
Well, but then our Facebook is like 238 to 237 or something like that. But we do have on the Mary Machine Gun page, there's like about 3.2 thousand likes. But pages are so restricted that Facebook doesn't show them anything from pages anymore.
Yeah.
It's, which is why I created the Atrocity Press Comics group, because groups are more engaged because Facebook wants to push groups more.
Yeah. I think that's just because it makes it easier for their advertising algorithm to identify things, because they can compile data related to a group across the statistical sample a little easier.
Yep. Exactly. Just say, okay, everyone in this group likes comic books. Weird. Okay, let's advertise comic books in this group.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll move along real quick here. Legacy Samurai tier, limited to 1 reward.
Yep, we have the other Samurai tier where we have 4 left, but this one is the last interior art page from issue 2.
And that's it right there.
Still have, and that's it. This has been hanging on my wall, taken down a few times to show off, obviously, on streams and whatnot. It's not been in direct sunlight, so it's been very carefully babied. And I love that piece, but we're offering it up for one lucky backer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she does such remarkable work with her inks. I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
Alexia's work is just fantastic.
Yeah. It's really something to see.
Okay, and the retailer tier of the Samurai Shop, which haven't had one yet, but 100 copies of 47 Furious Tails. Single issue copies. What's that mean? Like you could get 33 of one, 33 of two, and 33 of three.
Right. Yeah. You get to pick out which ones you want, which ones
Okay.
you need for
Yeah,
it. Yep.
that's just what you said before.
Yeah, and the idea is because every shop's going to have a different clientele, right? You
Oh,
might
yeah.
have one where the folks are like, "Hey, we want to grab number one titles. That's what we're really interested in. If we like it, maybe we'll do 2 and 3 and whatever." And then people are like, "Well, I've got it. It's more of a collectible. If something happens with it, I can flip it later on or what have you." And then you've got other people where you might be in a environment where you have a lot of people who are real big anime fans or samurai fans, and they're like, "Oh yeah, cool, the story of the 47, let's get that." And then you might have a need for, we've got like maybe 20 people, but they need some variant covers as well. And so just being able to customize that, I think, is easier in the construction of the rewards, certainly, but I think a lot more convenient for the store owner.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I'm choking myself to death.
But yeah, that's 100 copies of the single issues, 30 copies of the artist edition, and then 100 of the art prints. So, with the way the math works out, it's about $950 retail.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Right.
like I said, that 50% margin is something we really, really try and
We
strive
try
for.
to stick to
Yeah.
that. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And now we've got all the Ninja Bimbo stuff to show off.
Are we doing that tonight?
Yes, I gotta show off all of them, and we're gonna talk about each of the characters in depth. So, Johnny, you got that? Do you have anything on that computer?
No, I got all that at home, but I got it all pretty much memorized.
Okay.
Now, Ninja Bimbos is in January, right?
I don't know when it will come out. Probably January.
Cool.
It is our next one, though, isn't it? For sure.
Human Hunters is
Yeah,
next, right?
after Human Hunters.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Human Hunters comes out Halloween.
Mhm.
Yep, that's when
I'm
it starts.
super excited about that one.
That's a cool looking title.
Cool, thank you.
I really like that.
We're digging it. It's definitely something that's been in my mind for years and years, and it's just awesome partnering up with Max and just getting to have it be a reality. It's great.
I just like being able to make cool comic books.
Yeah, you and me both.
All right, let me get all these.
And then you come up with this Teenage Mutant Ninja.
There's no mutants involved. It's just teenage.
Yeah, I
Ninja
know.
Bimbos.
Teenage.
It was my take off of the sorority babes and the slime ball Bolorama or whatever.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But I had to do something cool like that.
One part Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yep.
Yes. I watched that the other day. It was on at like 3 a.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Was it on Tim's show?
No, actually, no. It was like on regular TV. It was like
Oh.
on channel 70 or something.
Nice.
Regular cable.
All right. So the first one is Rachel. We let Fernando do the design aspect of this, and he came up with this Oni mask for her to use, and we're actually going to use these for all the girls eventually.
That's a good idea.
It'll be kind of a quest type thing.
They have to go on in order to
Yeah,
achieve these things.
Those Mimpo masks, man, they are really very, very culturally appropriate. They're something to see. I would really like to get like my COVID mask done like that with like a hard, seriously. I would like to get one with like
That would be cool.
like a nice hard plastic on it, and then like the filters on the inside of it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I think it'd be awesome.
Hey, don't say anything more until you get it patented.
Well, there was a
Lock
dude
that
who-
down tomorrow morning.
There was a dude who was advertising them, and then when he shipped them, they were just cloth ones that had a Mimpo illustration on it. People were pissed.
Oh man, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I mean, I'd like to actually get them done, but I don't have anywhere near the facilities for it.
No, and you'd have to get it made in China, which means it's going to get made there and shipped back over here.
I'm not making anything in China right now. I mean, even all my comics are printed in the U.S. So
Yep.
Yep.
So are ours. So Johnny, Rachel, her special ability. What has she got?
Oh, see, I can't remember on her. I didn't know you were going to go in that detail. Well, she's our redhead, green eye. She's the fiery temper.
Move that out of the way, and then I can maybe find the. Oh, that's Human Hunters.
I got a new PC, so I'm in the midst of like transferring everything from one to the other, and I haven't gotten everything moved yet.
This probably should be the same thing on both of them.
You told me about, I got all the Human Hunter stuff here, not the.
All right, her special power that she gets. Well, I guess I should explain it a little bit more.
Yeah.
There is a. Let me.
I can start from the beginning.
Yeah,
for those just tuning in, basically.
Yeah, let me pull it up for those listening. Dang. Stop screen. I'm boomering out. You're
killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I think I found the last mosquito of the year sitting here trying to eat my arm up. I've missed him twice. I'm not gonna miss him the third time.
He's trying his hardest. All right, now we can share the screen.
You got it.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Zoom in. Okay. So at the very beginning here, we've got this asteroid meteor, right, coming down towards the United States.
I remember that. That was Tuesday.
Yes.
That was Tuesday. I remember that like it was yesterday. Oh, wait.
Then we have New York City, the New York City skyline, which is supposedly accurate because they use reference photo for it.
That's actually really nicely done.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's fantastically done. And the guys, the artist for this, Alex, is just great. And this is the Pussycat Club, which is what we named the thing. And I remember putting in the script that there was a pimp and
yes,
two guys doing a drug deal, and he really went to town with the pimp over here looking like Kid Rock.
Yeah, I love it.
And then the two guys over here doing the drug deal, looking like they're coming out of Cyberpunk or something like that.
Which is awesome.
Worked out fantastic. So we got this meteorite heading towards Earth. Then I got the interior of the Pussycat Club, which I had to edit to be safe for YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, which Facebook still won't let me go live, and I don't know why.
Still show illustrated privates because it's an art form and not like actual skin. Is that not true?
You probably could, but I just don't want to fight that fight.
I got you.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
Yep. And these are our main characters here, that are on the stage. You got Rachel, and Dawn and all them. But we'll get to the characters here in just a second because this is like the final page we have.
Sure. Yeah. The
strip club. Everything's going on in the strip club, and then the meteorite hit the ground and release green gas throughout New York City, throughout the whole 5 boroughs area. And it either kills you, turns you into a zombie, does nothing to you, or gives you superpower. We got a Phil Leone in the background. Pass him in here. There we go.
What's up, guys?
Phil, what's up, man?
What's up, Phil?
How's it going?
Oh no, we got more pages. Look at
we do have new pages.
I totally forgot we had this extra page of the guy at the news thing. And this was our were poking at the news about how silly they are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't remember exactly what we said, but we took about 10, 15, 20 minutes just to craft exactly how the media
Yes.
would put. There's a meteorite coming that's going to kill us all. NASA says there could be some sort of thing that's going to happen tonight.
Yeah.
In other news, the Mets lost.
Yeah.
That won't matter to half of you.
Well, and that's like the big joke, me and Max have is, like these dancers all get these, super abilities. I always said it was the radiation, counteracting with the body glitter they wear.
I was going to say glitter, man.
It's the body glitter, and that's what, that with the gas gives them superpowers.
There you go.
So she's got the enhanced dexterity. She's
Yes, that's right.
She's the quicker picker-upper.
She can do all the jumps and twirls. And
she was born in 2022, because this does take place a little bit in the future, about 18, 20 years in the future.
Okay.
So she was born in 2022. She's a female. She's 5'6", 118 pounds. She's got a slight build, of green eyes, red hair. She's freckles. And if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, her alignment would be neutral good.
Well,
it's sad because, for those, when we sit down, we create these character sheets for each character. And that way we can always go back and reference them.
Oh, yeah.
See, I think that's kind of becoming the norm for guys who are D&D and RPG players when they're doing character Bibles. It starts as character sheets and then it goes out from there.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good way to translate your character Bible.
And 3-point turnarounds.
Yeah. Well, and see, I grew up with the whole Marvel Universe books, where you could actually look at those comics and had all the heroes, all the stats, their history.
Yeah.
I loved those suckers.
Those were cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I have every single one still that I use just for reference every now and then, as outdated as they are.
And then we've got Micah, who is our she's our
badass.
Roller derby champion badass.
Yes. She's the one always looking for a fight.
Yep. Her stage name, Annabelle. She's 18, born in New York City in the ripe year of 1922 or 2022, I guess it would be now.
There we go.
So instead of rollerball, though, it'd be kind of like, what was that one called? Thunderball?
Thunderball.
In the day, the really wicked roller derby with the motorcycles behind the motorcycles around the
Well, you had that, then you had that Solar Babies years later.
Oh yeah,
that was like let's do a futuristic Lost Boys and grab half the cast.
Yeah,
which is exactly what they did.
The ones that'll come. She's 5'5", weighs 113 pounds. She's got blue eyes and black hair. Her alignment, if you play Dungeons and Dragons, is chaotic good. And she has enhanced strength. Her weapons are the nunchucks, as you can tell, and her color is yellow. She's also got the little shredder things on her arms, so that'll be badass. Plus, she can take these skates off, and then they're just regular shoes. So, she can detach the actual trucks and the skate part, and then they become actual shoes.
And she'll beat your ass with those, too.
Yep, she would.
She would.
Right across the face.
Now I see a scene in issue 2 where it's like, don't make me pull my wheels off. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually pretty good. You can take that. Just, don't make me pull my wheels off.
The wheels come off, you press the little button in the middle, and the blades come out. Just like little shurikens and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we've got Leah.
She's my favorite.
Leah too. Her alias is Chloe. She's 19. New York City. Born on the 28th of February, and we didn't put in the year, which was
one of my favorites. Yeah.
Female, 5'1", 101 pounds. Slight build, blue eyes, blonde hair. chaotic good.
And she's got katanas. I'm partial to katanas.
Yes,
But-
me too.
But her intelligence is like a rock.
Oh.
She is the trope of the dumb ditzy blonde.
So she's
And-
basically just the muscle.
Oh, not even that. She's like, it's bad.
yeah.
That's bad.
It's bad.
Her
Like it.
power- her power and ability is enhanced sight. It has nothing to do with anything powerful, like with combat wise.
She has to be able to see it coming from a mile away so she can adapt. Has
Well,
to
can we-
process.
Can we share her first joke? Are we
Yeah.
allowed to do that?
Yeah,
you
go
think
ahead.
we can do that? Okay, so the first joke we had with her is that she's, and we've changed that. That's an older sheet. She's actually from California, and she moved to New York. And she's talking to one of the patrons in the club, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" She goes, "Oh, I want to be an actress. That's why I moved to New York." And he's like, "Couldn't you do that in California?" And she's like, "Oh, do they have acting in California?" So that gives you the idea of kind of like,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
freaking Hollywood.
Yeah.
She's the intelligence of a rock.
Rock.
It's funny because everyone already just started calling her the leader because she's got the swords and she's like got the ref or the Donatello or the
Yeah.
Leonardo look. So
But
they're like,
no,
"Oh, she's the
no.
leader." I'm like, "No."
We're like, no. Yeah, if you
you
want a
can-
very short book that never gets to issue 2.
She's like that. Oh my God. chick.
Yes.
She's
she
like the
is.
Valley Girl.
She is the Valley Girl.
She definitely is 100%.
Which is fun to write. I got to say, she's a blast to write.
Yeah.
Because all the other ones just are like, they're even amazed by how stupid she is.
Especially Donna.
Donna,
who-
yes.
who our alias to come into the stage is Kitty. Well, Phil, you do it.
Welcome to the stage, Kitty.
Yes.
She's 18 years old, born in New York City, 5'4", 110 pounds. She's got brown eyes, brown hair. She's got the tan lines. And she would be neutral good. Her intelligence level was already genius, but the power that she got from the gas was enhanced intelligence.
Yep.
So she is just like superstar genius level, has to dumb it down for everyone around her.
Well,
But
and she's
the-
also like our medic too, because one of the histories of her is that she's actually in the club to go to medical school.
Yeah.
So she's one of those where she's actually really smart. Somebody gets hurt, she can help them out.
Yeah.
Diametrically opposed to the other one.
Well, no,
Yes.
she says that's the other trope is I'm going to here. I'm only stripping for college.
Yeah. Yes.
I've heard it. I was a DJ in a club for a while.
Yeah.
I've
Me
heard-
too.
I've
You
heard
and
all
I
the
had the same-
stories,
yeah.
man.
Yes.
It's only for college money. It's only for college. But
I'm
she's
gonna
actually,
be a phlebotomist.
that's not that takes like 2 months to get your certification, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the army,
I'm
you
not
get-
making that one up either, by the way.
No.
like when you get in the army, they make you stick each other with needles to give yourselves IVs. That's always a fun day. CLS training, fucking
Nice.
fantastic. Everyone's like stabbing each other like 52 times because they can't hit a vein. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is where we figure out where all the drug dealers or the drug users come from. Which ones can get the vein on the first try?
What, you used to hang out on Hollywood Boulevard? We know you're going to be able to handle this, man.
Yes.
Yeah, just follow the track marks on that one guy. Yeah.
Well, everyone that actually gets it the first time, that's the ones that they go back to the barracks and do the drug test.
Like,
Let's
yeah,
clean out the
that-
lockers. We know
that
that's
was-
in there.
That was suspiciously efficient of you.
Yes.
Can't have that.
But she's mostly the intelligence of the group. She kind of comes up with the ideas. Like, let's say like there was one part where they were stuck in a room and the gas is coming in, and they didn't want to get the gas on them. So she's like, okay, close all the girls are like, close the doors, and then Donna's like, "You dumbasses! It's just gonna come from underneath the doors."
And she's like, grab the towels, get them wet. Why do we get them wet? There'll be a filter, dummy. Come on. So, but she's pretty much the leader of the group.
Yep, pretty much leaders it all out. And this is Alexis.
Last but not least.
Yes. Let's go here.
She's kind of our goth girl.
Yeah, a little bit of the goth chick thing going on. She's got the slight build. She's 5'3", 105 pounds. She's got the blonde highlights, which is she's mostly blonde, I guess.
Yeah.
But her alignment would be neutral evil. She's in it for herself. And only herself. She wants that money. The poison thing there is because her weapons are poisonous. We kind of modeled her a little bit after Vega and a little bit after X-23.
I got you. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of one, another part of another. Yeah.
Yep.
As long as no one from Marvel's listening to this, we'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Oh, Marvel's got too much trouble to listen to anybody right now. That's how they got their trouble, not listening to anybody.
Hey, they got out of one of them. They settled with Scarlett Johansson, so at least they got one.
All right.
Oh yeah, but that was because they had Disney lawyers. Disney lawyers there. The problem they're having right now is they got to figure out how they're going to actually.
The dual one, they got
to deal with the copyrights and all the artists' families are wanting to get the copyright back for all these characters.
Yeah, right. Is that like how many? 2 or 3 of them?
Well,
the people bringing it up.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
If they lose those cases, though, it's going to be so much more.
Oh,
well, if they lose that cases, then you got DC and everybody else jumping through the same hoops.
Yep.
Yeah.
DC's actually been a little kinder to their creatives than Marvel has.
Yeah, they don't have to be so strong-armed before they decide to do the right thing. They're like, okay, let's just take care of this.
Except they haven't been paying the overseas royalties to their creators for the last few years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
but if you look, but it goes both ways. I mean, if you actually go look at the court cases for just Superman, how many times the heirs and the family has taken them, and then DC's like, let us write you a check, but this is it. 5-10 years later, they're like, back, we need more money. And it's like one more time, and then they write them another check. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of,
all that into gear. Is Neil Adams actually did the push on a lot of that originally, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing that's where I'm kind of torn on it because I get the idea of it, but the problem I have is like when you have an artist that is alive, I think is almost different than the family.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people that weren't even involved in creating it.
Oh yeah, and because of Disney, just because of Disney wanting to keep hold of the mouse, they're the ones that lobbied so hardcore and got copyrights changed in the first place, man, where they last 70 years past their death or whatever it is,
Yeah, because if not, Mickey Mouse would be,
exactly
anybody.
He'd be
like Peter Pan and everything else.
Copyright laws, yeah, exactly.
Because wasn't it like 25 years or something like that originally?
It was 25 originally, and then it got moved up.
It might have been even less than that beforehand, before things went into public domain, like 15 maybe even, if I remember right.
Basically, the idea right now is you're looking at properties back in the 19th century just to be safe. So maybe up until the 20s or so, because you can get stuff like H.P. Lovecraft works as public domain.
Yeah,
on some, and it's funny because talking about human
H.P. Lovecraft, not the ones that were subsequent to his death, they're written by his friends, but the actual Lovecraft stuff.
No, I ran into that because we do Human Hunters, and the idea of Human Hunters is taking these classic characters from novels. Right. And then it was one of those like, can I use this? Can I use this guy? No, I can't use this one. This one's not public domain. So it gets kind of touch and go.
And it depends on the version, though, too, on some of those, too,
Yep.
Like you want to steer away from a direct Universal Monsters kind of connection, but you can.
The Invisible Man's tricky. The Invisible Man's real tricky.
Yeah.
But the monster from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, not so much.
Right.
See,
like
I
said,
use
as
him
long
and I
as you-
use the bride.
Yeah, the bride. Yeah.
Because the bride actually was never technically even used in the books. That was universal.
And yeah, if it's and like I said, with something like, let's say, the bride, as long as you aren't doing the big hair with the little white
Right.
stripes coming up the
Right.
side, you're pretty much
Yeah.
Model it more after the books and not after the movie.
Well, and everything I do, see, I'm a big avid reader, just novels. I read, I always have. So for me, it's like I wanted to stay as true as a continuation from the original books as I could.
Which
You know
is
what?
also one of the cool things that we like. We didn't make the Bride of Frankenstein like the Bride of
Oh no,
Right,
Frankenstein or Victor
Right.
Frankenstein.
I mean, for me, when I came up with the concept of it, was they both had the same father. You know, Dr. Frankenstein created them.
right.
So I went immediately to a brother and sister, relationship, just because I always thought it was like, it's kind of creepy him making both of them. It's almost, I didn't want to go there, but I'm like, now, Victor, is very, the brother, I'm going to protect my little sister type vein.
I was going to say, even though they were made of multiple different people that had no relation to each other, bits and parts and pieces.
Granted.
Yeah.
But I was going more of the spiritual
I know
side
what
of things.
Yeah. Yep.
Have we shown off? Oh, I would show off some lettered human hunter stuff, but it's 9:00, and that means it is the end of the show
Already? Man, tonight went by quick.
Yeah, went by fast. I mean, we spent half an hour on going through Sam's thing, which is, let's go back to check your
Thanks, guys.
Over on Sam's stuff.
Kickstarter.
Yes.
I had these out because we were showing Mr. Dunn over there, man, some of the stuff when we're over on Larry's
That's
Street.
cool.
I got to tell you, I read that.
You really
first
dug
issue.
that, dude, by the way. You really dug it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That first issue was amazing. I got to tell you, I was at first I saw the animals and I'm like, what? And then I started reading. And I'm like, oh, this is serious. This is dark. This is not what I expected at all. And
It's not really like a kid's bunny book.
No.
Like that. It's like we got people decapitating people, and there's bandits chasing down civilians and dragging them off, and just
to me it was the emotion, because a lot of times with a kid's book it's very black and white.
Right.
And what I liked when I was reading that, just personally when I was reading, I was like, you got the depth, you got the emotions, you really got the textures, that these aren't just animals. This isn't like your Disney, this is like real creatures living and breathing and feeling. And I was like, I got wrapped into that first issue a lot. I really dug it.
I'm really glad to hear that, because it's cool to be making comics, and this is actually my first comic series to see print. So
it definitely has a lot more meat to it. Let's say I know not the same, but in the same kind of like where it's got that more gritty feel to it or whatever, like Watership Down.
I tried to model the storytelling after Akira Kurosawa's methods when he's doing his storytelling in his films.
Well, of course you have to.
Because here's the
samurai stories.
If you look at one and you read through it, sometimes you don't realize it, but there's literally a couple of pages in there that are completely silent. It completely relies on your vision and your mind interpreting the action.
Yeah.
And then you'll look and you'll see there's nothing written on a page. It happens, I think, 2 pages if I remember right in issue 1.
Right, and Alexi is able to express that so well in him.
And the thing is, you can't be afraid of silent panels. Just like when Akira Kurosawa was making films, and you'd have moments where, and other filmmakers, they're going to build it up with the background music and stuff like that. And then in some of the Akira movies, you have all this silence in the background. And maybe you might hear the wind that's being picked up on the mic on the camera or something. And then you have your narrative, or you have like these long takes of, people walking in, and then interactions when they become violent are swift and decisive. And it's a neat way to tell a story.
Yeah, it's like for this one, this is the one with the lettering. I'm only going to show the first 4 pages because you were talking about stuff without lettering and such, how it would tell a story.
Yeah,
and even without the lettering on this, you can tell what's going on.
Well, that's what I was gonna. That's to get like touching on what you both said, man. It's like in comics, and like they even taught with animation, it's like you should be able, without a word, a sound, any words on the screen, you should be able to get a general idea what's going on. And then the words are just filling in all the little bits of extra spaces and shit for you.
And then
The words are the icing on the cake.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the Doctor just kind of thinking to himself as he's piloting his boat out to sea. And then he just says, "Forgive me for disturbing your earlier rest," and just dumps her in the ocean, because that's what he did in the book. He took everything from his lab and just kind of threw it all in the sea.
Well, and this is where the book ends. The book ends that there's a storm. He leaves, and everything's just thrown there in the Isles, off the Scottish Isles.
Yep.
Because a lot of people don't even realize that he wasn't even in Germany at that point.
The blues on those pages, I just really dig, man.
Yeah, the coloring's amazing.
Yeah, Adam has done a fantastic job with the coloring. That is for sure. And
So this is exactly what I'm talking about, with those silent panels telling the story.
Yeah.
Really good example of that.
Well, I think the next one's even good. Yeah. And that was like the big thing that, like, our focus. I was like, we got to have that hand, that movement.
Yeah, that was a good.
Call. I was like, we got to have that movement in that hand, because I remember we were writing it. I'm like, because for me, I don't know about you, but when I'm writing, I visualize this in my head. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing it as a movie, and it's like, how do I put this movie now into a comic?
Kind of gives me that feel of the original Frankenstein, where when the lightning hits and they kind of almost are on the hand, and you just see that twitch, and then you're like, what happened? They're alive now.
Yes. It's doing that little bit of an homage,
That's nice.
And then that's her coming out of the sea.
Yeah, that's badass.
God, I dig those blues, man.
I know, right? They look fantastic.
Yeah, Adam really knocked it out of the park there.
Adam did a great job.
I like the grays, the different colors of her skin. As you can tell, that she's been put together by other people.
Right. our little patchwork here.
Patchwork quilt.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to show. I just wanted to show that you could tell a story without really having any dialogue whatsoever. I mean, we had even without the dialogue, it would have showed up just fine, and people would have understood what happened.
Oh yeah, that works really well.
And kudos to the whole entire team over at Atrocity Press. They really, really knocked it out of the park there. I mean, we can write something and then visualize it, but if the artist isn't on board and just zoned in, then no one else is going to be able to hop on. What we got here, Phil?
Oh, the thing that was fun from yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I posted this up. This is something me and Greg Kimmett did. Like, it was our last Halloween collaborations. I posted up over on Twitter. Then I saw the usual suspects, all you guys I know and everything. It's like liked, and then it's like, who's this Quinn Lord dude with the check mark? And I'm like, he just so happens to be Sam from that picture. And I was like, hell yeah, I dig that, man. So other Sam like the Sam picture, Sam.
Awesome.
Incredibly cool, man.
That's pretty awesome.
That is real cool.
And let's leave that on a high note. It was nice to see you all. Johnny, where can people get in touch with you?
Get in touch with me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Just look for Johnny Reed. Go to Atrocity Press. I'm sure now I'm linked to, all the stuff that's coming out there too.
Yep. We've been putting your name.
And if you're local, Kansas City here, my shop, Brute Squad Entertainment, is going to be open October. What is that date that everybody's going to be?
I think you said 14th or something like that was for the soft launch.
No, it'll be the 20th.
Yeah, 20th.
Yep, 16th is a private opening. The 20th is going to be for everyone else.
Hell yeah!
Congratulations, man.
Thanks.
Overcast and down, Phil Leon. Where can people reach you?
Yeah, if you need any color work on cover sequentials, one-offs, or even maybe a little pre-press or editing, I can help you out. And you can find me on Facebook under Phil Leon, where I do most post most of my stuff up there where you can see it. You can go to Philman X at ArtStation, where I have a pretty decent sized portfolio going over there. On the Twitter, try to do a live show with some drawing and coloring about once a week with Warren and some of the usual suspects, such as the people here. And we do that at Philman X on Twitch, or on my page on Facebook, or over at YouTube under Philman X.
You're lucky you can stream to Facebook.
I know. Thanks. The proud sponsor, Atrocity Press, the proud sponsor of the Zen Den.
And that just ended his streaming on Facebook. They're like, nope.
Nope, we're done.
Naomi Comics was here back at the end of the show. He says, I said, hail, Sub-Zero is my waifu, and she's a good
Nice.
They're all his waifu, man.
He's got a whole harem of waifu.
He's going to have to move to Utah, man.
Yeah, that's good. All right. But and finally, last but not least, Sam Quinton, where can they meet you, hit you up, especially your Kickstarter?
Kickstarter at 47 Furious Tails issue 3. We are live now and funding and reaching for our next short-term goal to get to 50%. We're 5 day, basically in our 5th day of the campaign now. So we're pushing hard for it. We can also be found at Sinopa Publishing on Facebook, Sinopa Publishing on Instagram, and Sinopa Publishing on Twitter.
All right. And you want to meet anything that we're doing, it's just Atrocity Press Comics is the group on Facebook, or Atrocity Press is the page, or Mary Machine Gun is the page, or at Mary Machine Gun on any other social media under the sun.
Oh, and quick shout out to Larry, too. Everyone watching, don't forget, next week, pick up your copy from Antarctic Press. You look for Niobe on number 17 of Exciting Comics.
Did they say it's coming out next week?
Isn't that the original solicitation date for release?
It was the 27th, I believe.
Oh, so it's
What it
Oh,
said.
hey, did you guys?
But they all say 27th.
Did you hear the news on that one?
No.
Ben had told us that it is sold the best since issue number 3. It's already got the pre-sales that are higher than since back at issue number 3, man.
Well, hopefully me ordering 5 copies helped.
That would probably do it.
Yeah.
It's like we're up 50%. We have more than 12 copies sold.
3 weeks, right? 3 weeks. That too. My bad.
All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the show. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Peace.
Yep. Same